think we are live in both places. Yes, okay. Well, happy Mindset Monday. Welcome all of my dreamers and soul searchers. Thank you for joining me here. I am live on YouTube and in my Facebook group, Black Moon Society. So you're able to, oh shit, sorry, let me turn this on silent, guys. Sorry about that. My apologies. Yeah, so you are able to view this on YouTube and also my group, Black Moon Society. It is a Facebook group. It is for people dealing with negative thoughts and emotions, learning how to counteract doubts, how to get rid of that kind of cycle of thinking, bring back joy, clarity, love in your life. It's a good place to kind of explore feelings and emotions and discover tactics that you can use to kind of get yourself out of those moments when you have them. And I'm in there all the time, commenting, giving advice, answering questions, anything that you guys might need. So if you're interested in joining it, that is, I'll leave the link in the description below here on YouTube. I'd love to have you there. So today I wanted to talk about this idea that okay, let me back up a little bit. I asked for affirmations on social media. I asked for affirmations that you use, and I wanted to take my favorite ones and put them into and kind of talk about them in my videos. So today, I decided to make the Mindset Monday about my favorite one that I came across that you guys left, and the one that stuck with me the most and the one that I found to be the easiest to kind of remember to integrate into my life, because I think that's a big thing with the affirmations is it's good in the moment that you're doing that, but if you forget what you're affirming to yourself, if you forget what you're talking about, forget what you're saying, sometimes it just like goes in one ear and out the other. So this one it stuck with me even days later. So I wanted to share that. And that is the idea that a way is being made. So if, say that it was somebody that wanted a job, a way is being made for me to get my new job. A way is being made for me to move into the house that I want to live in. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is because it kind of explains what happens when you, what Esther Hicks calls launch a rocket of desire. So basically, our lives, everything that we experience in the physical world, everything that we consider our reality is actually just past manifestations coming about in the physical world. Everything first starts out as vibration, then it becomes a thought or a feeling, and then through the law of attraction, it becomes a physical item experience in your world. So everything that you're actually living, where you are now, the job you have, the person you're with, the friends you have, the money that you have in your bank, that's all a reflection of your past manifestations, your past feelings, the past you, because everything is from the past. Everything that you see has already been manifested. So the reality that you're living in your mind is creating your future in every day. So if you are just taking stock of what you have, if you're letting everything come to you and you're just reacting to what you see, you're reacting to what you experience, you think that this is just a 3D world and that's it, things happen so you react to them, you're going to live a life of autopilot. You're going to be manifesting by default, and your yesterday is going to look a lot like your tomorrow and so forth, because if you're just reacting, what you're doing is letting the present impress upon your subconscious, which is like a copy machine, and then that copies more of your reality, what you see here, your past manifestations, into your future. And that's why days look like the next, look like the next, look like the next, until you start taking a hold of the thoughts that you hold in your mind for longer periods of time, the things that you actually believe, the things that if you're looking at your bank account and you're telling yourself, no, that's $10,000. If you're convincing yourself of that every day, a way will be made for that to come to you. And that is just how the whole world works. There's always a way being made, because there is no other way that this place exists. It only exists through humans experiencing their world and it being replicated and brought back to them through the law of attraction. And once you understand that that is the only way that things happen, there is no other outside force. You are the outside and the internal force. And it's up to you to decide to, I don't want to use the word force because you don't want to exert any effort into any of this. You want it to be effortless and easy. But you have to train your focus. You have to make yourself think the thoughts that you want to think, feel the feelings that feel good, the feelings that money will bring, the feelings that the perfect partner will bring, the feelings that clarity will bring, the feelings that the job will bring. You have to make those feelings part of your everyday experience in order for them to be impressed upon your subconscious so that your copy machine button can be clicked. Even if you're looking at a mess of a situation, you have to find the beauty in that mess. You have to at least understand that this mess is going to launch a new rocket of desire that says, I want the exact opposite of this mess. And at the very least, if you can hold on to that reminder that even if something is super hard, it's giving birth to something amazing. And that's how we get new desires. That's how we decide we want something new. That's how we get new things in our life, is by experiencing something we don't like and deciding we want the exact opposite of that. We experience what we have manifested, good and bad, because we feel good and bad. And we decide, I want more of that or I don't want more of that. And the good feelings that we launch, the good desires that we launch, they get kind of placed in this vibrational escrow, and it just waits there for you to come into vibrational alignment with it. Everything that you decide that you want, a way is being made immediately. And that's how this whole thing works. There's no judgment, this yes or no, this good or bad. It's just like you think it, you feel it, okay, it's off to the law of attraction to bring back to you. That's it. So anytime you decide you want something, anytime you put your focus on saying, this is mine, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to do, this is the way that's going to be made for me, a way will be made, because there's just no other option in this universe. So get really clear on where you want your life to go. Think about what your 5-year plan, what is your 1-year plan? Where do you want to be in a year? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 25 years? You're going to get there eventually. And if you don't have a plan, you're just going to allow your current emotions, the way you feel in any moment, dictate what shows up in your life later. And if you're like most people, it's just going to be a continuation of how you feel. That's why most people don't make huge changes in their lives and don't do big old great things, is because they don't allow themselves to believe that they can. They don't allow themselves to see beyond the physical and believe in something that they can't see or touch yet. And it's really going to be beneficial to you if you're trying to create a reality that you are proud of, a reality that you want to live, to take stock on how you feel in every moment, because your feelings are your indicator of what you're manifesting for your future. So, little doggies having a little doggy party back there. So just keep in mind, everything that you want, a way is being made. A way is being made. The moment you decide you want something, a way is being made for you to get there. And your job is to not stress about it, not stress about the life that you're living. Don't take stock in the things that you don't like. If they come to you and you don't like them, okay, fine. You experience it, whatever. You don't have to have this severe emotional reaction. It doesn't have to be a breakdown. It doesn't have to cause anything. You just see it, you experience it, and you move on from it. And you go back to focusing on the you that you're becoming, the way that's being made, the path that you're carving out for yourself, the person that you want to be, getting clear on who that is. What does that person do? What do they do for a living? What do they do for fun? Who's in their lives? Who's not in their lives? What do you look like? What do you feel like? What do you experience on a day-to-day basis? What are you looking forward to in your future from there? Get clear on these things. What does your career look like? What does your bank account look like? What does your house look like? If you can get these images crystal clear in your mind, and then you're able to conjure them up, you start feeling shitty about your situation, and you're like, actually, a way is being made. I'm actually on a path to becoming XYZ. I know that I create my reality in all moments, and I'm creating something amazing for myself. I feel good. I know that the world is not ending. I know that I have all the power to choose how I react to every situation. And I know that that choice is what shapes the world that I live in. And I know that I am learning every day how to control the way I feel. I'm learning every day how to put a finger on what it is that I want and what it is that makes me happy. I'm able to recall these emotions and bring them back and revel in the things that I already have that make me feel ease and freedom and joy and love. If you can use the things that you already have to conjure those feelings. Oh, sorry, that's my 11:11 alarm. Um, so just talk yourself off the ledge when you're having these these crazy emotions or these, even just a gut reaction. Just remember, like, oh, okay, I felt like shit for a minute, but that doesn't have to be my story. A way is being made for me to blah, 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 blah. And you just go on about your day knowing, believing, trusting that a way is being made. It's going to get you there because there's no other option. You're going to get where you're going. You're going to be there for every step of the way. And if you can just enjoy the unfolding of your life, enjoy the little things, enjoy the butterflies that come, enjoy the feathers you see on the ground, enjoy the every time you see 11:11, all those little things that remind you that you are connected and you are on your path, you will eventually get to that vibrational escrow. You will be in alignment with the vibrational frequency that what you want is offering, and you become a vibrational match to it. And then you're able to be moved through the law of attraction, through your higher self, to the very space that you wanted to be in, to the very place where that will show up. What are we talking about? Well, we are talking about how this is a person coming late into the conversation. We are talking about how whenever you decide that you want something, whenever you launch a rocket of desire, a way is being made, and you can learn to have faith in the fact that your reality is being created at all moments by your own feelings and your own thoughts and beliefs. So if you can learn to feel good about what you have, learn to believe in the power that you have, and learn to trust that if you believe and feel good that the thing that you want will come to you, then it will. And because that's just how your world works. There is no other way. When you let your autopilot when you let your autopilot take over, you just feel whatever feelings you feel, and you're like, well, that's how I feel. This is it. This situation happened, so I feel like this. If you do that all the time and you never take stock and wrangle that thought and switch it to something that feels better, switch it to something that is more above the line of satisfaction, then you're just going to create more instances to feel crappy about. Like, there's just no other way. So the first step to really controlling your whole world and gaining control of everything, becoming a manifestation master, whatever it is, bringing everything you want into your life, it is learning to notice your emotions, caring if they're negative, and if they are, working yourself back emotional scale to a place that I feel at least, very least, satisfied with where you are, what you have, what you got, what's coming. End of story. Because at the end of the day, you have so much in your life to feel satisfied about that it's really crazy that we as humans will sit there and find something to be dissatisfied about and then just like spiral on it when you're surrounded literally by so much stuff and people and feelings and things. Like, this world is full to the brim of stuff to be grateful for, even if it is just a tree, even if it's just a butterfly, even if it's your dog, even if it's your favorite pen. I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't matter. If you only have one thing to love, you know you have one thing. The fact that you're alive and breathing is a gift. There's a lot of people that I wish could be here, and a lot of people that many people wish could be here. So don't take it for granted. And, just because shitty things are happening to you, I agree that sucks and I don't want that to happen to you anymore, but that's on you to stop allowing yourself to create more of that, because it's I hate to tell you, like, I'm not saying that you want the negativity, but it doesn't come from anywhere else. Nobody can create in your world, and you can't create in someone else's. So, like, I mean, you gotta take ownership of it. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm just gonna read the comment. Love the idea of controlling your own thoughts and feelings. That downward spiral gets tough. I know. I honestly, I get it. I spiral too. I really do. And my issue is like anger. I know other people have sadness, they have whatever it is. I get angry and I just like can't and I don't care. Like I'm just like I'm mad, you're mad now, we're all mad. Guess what? Now I'm mad, we're all mad. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like I totally get it. And that has been my whole burden to bear through this whole thing is learning how to control my anger, not get pissed off at the little things. And if I do, not let them, you know, gain momentum and crash over the whole day and ruin everyone's time. Because I can do that. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just like I'm good at being a bitch, and so it's not like if I want to get if I get there, I'm there. And so I understand how tough it is, and what has worked for me. I'll tell you exactly what has worked for me. I listen to motivational stuff like exactly what I'm doing right now. I listen to this stuff all day long. Not every day, but I listen to it at least one or two a day. Every single day I start my day off listening to it. I meditate every day. I try to write down manifestations in a manifestation journal every day so that at least I'm working that muscle and constantly being given evidence that my manifestations and my feelings are actually coming through in my physical world. That helps you gain that trust and knowing that if you do want it, it will come to you. So if you just doing practicing every day, writing little things like I found a 1983 coin. I drank a lemonade. I saw a butterfly. I said hi to a bird. That just happened to me the other day, and I was like, "Hi, bird! Ah! I just wrote this down the other day." Like it's just these little moments where you're like, "Okay, something's listening. I appreciate it. Thank you for being there." So yeah, so writing those down. Where was I? Things that have worked for me. Listening to motivational speaking shit every single day. Manifesting every single day. Writing down small manifestations. Meditating every day. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry, guys. Writing down your manifestations every single day, even if they're small ones. Also writing down big ones. Scripting. Writing out the way I want my life to go. Sometimes I'll text things to myself so I can just remember to keep that in the forefront of my mind. And really visualizing the life that I want to have. And most importantly, I'm paying attention to how I feel. And if it's not satisfaction, if it's not that just like, okay, I'm good to go, this is fine, then I'm in there doing work, trying to find the next best feeling thought. And then from there, find the next best feeling thought. Then from there, find the next best feeling thought. And again, just work yourself back up the emotional ladder. That's what I do. And it's work. I'm not going to lie. It's not like I don't have to work on it every day, every single day. And if I don't meditate, I notice it. It makes a huge difference. And even though I'm here helping and explaining to you, I still work on it every single day. And I'm telling you, like it's a practice. You have to do it all the time. It's like working out. You know, you could work out for a month and look great, and then if you stop, you're going to get flabby again. I know from personal experience. Okay, I want another comment over here. Do you ever get bored being happy once in a while? Like sometimes I get that urge to be sad or get worked up. Basically the same way that some people start arguments that have boredom. Okay, so that's a good point because when that happens, what you're doing is this is all concepts from Abraham Hicks or Esther Hicks. This is who I listen to most. Highly recommend it. It helps you understand your vibration, what that means, and why it's important. But basically, when you feel negative emotions, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. You're here to learn and experience and understand and grow. So negative emotions are part of the deal. When you came from non-physical, you knew that you would experience negative things, but the negative things help you decide what you do want. So every time you have that negative emotion or experience or reaction, you're launching a rocket of desire, as they call it, to something positive. So it's not bad. So don't judge yourself. If you feel like you need to be sad, be sad. Go through your feelings. You don't want to like stifle them. You don't want to pinch them off. You don't want to. You're human. You have to experience your emotions, but you don't want to dwell on it. You don't want to make that your reality. You don't want to make it a habit of just sitting in the negative emotions. Feel it, experience it, decide that you don't want it, and decide what you do want because of it, and then move your focus back towards that. And it's not about being happy all the time. It's about being satisfied. It's about being like, okay, like this is cool. I'm okay. Like the world's not ending. I don't have to be, angry. I don't have to be mistrustful. I don't have to be sad. You don't have to be sad. I mean, you can be, but I think there's so much beauty in this world, and learning how to appreciate every freaking rock, every tree, every every experience, every smile, every ray of sunshine. I know that sounds so cheesy as I'm saying it out loud. I'm like embarrassed, but really learning to understand the beauty of this world, I think, is a big part of that growth and that journey. You don't want to judge yourself if you feel negative emotion. Again, it's just that's part of it. It's a roller coaster. Earth is contrast. You can't experience the really good if you don't experience the really bad, and you can't launch a rocket of desire without experiencing something undesirable. It's the contrast that gives way to the positive emotion. So don't be afraid to feel your negative emotions, but if you feel like you're, how do I put this? If you feel like you're, for example, starting arguments out of boredom, I would say take a look at why you're not satisfied in the situation you're in. What is missing? Because clearly, if you don't feel like you have enough to be happy about, or you don't like that feeling, usually it's because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you're afraid that if you feel happy too long, that, again, something is going to fuck it up or whatever. So look at what it is that you're missing. Look at what it is that is causing you to feel that there's not enough contrast or whatever. And then, experience your contrast, but like think about what makes you feel good. What do you want? Like, you don't want to be happy all the time, that's fine, but do you want to be comfortable all the time? Do you want to be excited more of the time? Do you want to feel camaraderie? Do you want to feel eagerness? Like, think about what you do want. What would be a positive emotion that you would feel good about having, on a long-term basis? Okay. That just went with it. So speaking of anger, sometimes I get tension headaches from anger when I don't attack anyone, and I was wondering if that is a sign that I'm suppressing it. Yes, definitely. Um, I'm gonna suggest you do yoga. Okay, I don't know if you do it, but I started doing yoga, and I'm not good. I literally know like 3 moves, and I just do 10 minutes a day. But I could be so pissed off and just like, ooh, just like ready to freaking pop on somebody, and then just do my like yoga, like the 3 moves that I have, and I'm like, what was I mad about? Like, it just like erases it. Um, I would suggest for you, if you're getting those headaches, you're suppressing your anger. Try not to suppress it. If you need to express it, then do it. I mean, do it maybe, but yeah, try to do it through more um, like channeled ways, like yoga, boxing, something like that, where you can kind of get it out and it can benefit you as well. And then meditate. You need to meditate also. That's very important. Meditation helps you get into vibrational alignment with everything you want, and it also helps you recognize and conjure those good feelings, so that when you need to bring them back up, and like when you're trying to work your way up the emotional scale, when you want to feel grateful, you want to feel joyful, you want to feel excited, so that you can start manifesting more of those feelings. Meditation is a great way to get there, because it instantly raises your vibration. Once you clear your all your thoughts out, you clear your negative thought, and that's really what is doing it for you, is stopping that negative thought by stopping all thought, and getting into that moment, in that place where you can let your vibration rise to the level that your infinite source is at, your higher self, will help you. There goes the doggies. You can get there, and then keep that feeling going. They also say that, I think, you think a thought for 17 seconds and then another thought joins it. So if you feel good, you're meditating, you come out of your meditation feeling awesome, start thinking about the things that you love, start thinking about the things that you want to do, or just let yourself be guided by the impulses that you get during your meditation session, and then think about things that make you feel eager or excited or joyful or abundant or clarity, powerful, whatever it is that you're wanting to conjure. Just bring that feeling up and think about the things that make you feel that way, feel good about them, revel in them, soak it up, and just keep doing that throughout your day as long as possible, and that will kind of help you make the positive emotions more of a habit, bringing them up on purpose, and kind of like installing them. That's what I've noticed, is the more that I do it, the more I can just like immediately like pop. It's like popping in a new program, or pushing a, like putting on a new song on your phone or something like that. You just like push the button and it just pops in. I'm getting more adept at doing that. So the work is good. it gets better as you go on. It gets easier. So just try to be conscious of how you feel. Learn how to conjure the emotions that you want to feel. Learn what they feel like. Have something there for you that makes you feel that way, makes you feel eager, makes you feel excited, makes you feel abundant. You know, again, maybe it's an experience you had, maybe it's a person in your life, maybe it's your dog, maybe it's something that you love. Whatever it is, have that at the ready. I call it like a toolbox. Have your toolbox ready, or your list of haves. That's another thing I use. Sometimes I start thinking about my list of have-nots. And then I just like pop in my list of haves, and I'm like boom, 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 boom. And I can like put those programs in, or push those songs, or whatever you want to, however you want to like equate it in your mind. But it's easier if you have them at the ready. You know what you're going to focus on. You know the thoughts you're going to go to. You know the emotion you want to conjure. It gets easier and easier and easier every time to pull yourself out of that negative spot. Sorry, if you hear my dog coughing, she does that every time she drinks water. I don't think she knows how to drink water without like choking on it. So that's what that sound you heard was. Let me just check this. Oh, part of you wants to see me all riled up. There's a couple videos I did where I'm kind of angry. Like one of them is called dealing with rude people. I think if you watch that video, I'm like kind of annoyed because somebody said something right when I was about to make my video, so it kind of turned into something else. But you don't want to see me like that. I don't like becoming that person. I really don't want to be that girl. So it's a big thing to work on for me. Yes, and good afternoon, and it is an exciting day, Boris. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. So yeah, we're at 25 minutes. If anybody has any other questions, I will address. Otherwise, send you off to your beautiful Monday with good, good feelings, good mindset. Remember that once you want something, once you decide that it's going to be yours, it is. The universe begins intermingling all the pieces, even if it takes a million strands of weaving to get you from A to B. You will get there as soon as you are a vibrational match to whatever B is. As long as you are in the vibrational frequency of that thing long enough to meet up with the gestational period of how long it takes to kind of manifest on the planet, you're good to go. And so I just thought about something about dropping the desire, but I don't want to go into that too much. That's a talk for another day. Just make sure that you're trusting yourself. You're believing that you have this power, because you do. There's no other operative force in this world. It's just you and your point of focus, the way you feel, and how hard you feel it. That's what's going to bring it into your world and how fast it's going to come to you. So, oh yeah, if you're interested in joining, oh, thanks, Emily. I'm glad you joined. Thank you. Good to see you. If you guys are interested in joining the Black Moon Society, if you're not in there watching already, I will leave the link below. It is a community to kind of learn how to banish the negative thinking, get rid of the self-limiting doubts, bring back the joy, the clarity, the love into your life, and make it a habit to be happy, basically, or whatever positive emotion that you want to feel. You don't have to be some like Stepford wife. It's not about that. I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to be like fakely. You can't fake it with the universe. There's no fake it till you make it with the universe. It knows your true intention. So it really is about wanting to experience the good things in life. And I do. I want a big ass, beautiful house in the Redondo Riviera. That's what I want to live. I want the millions of dollars in my bank account. I want to help millions of people. I want to write a bunch of books. I want to have seminars and retreats and getaways and things like that. I want to have a successful music career, even though I'm focusing on this. And there's no reason that I can't have that, because I am creating all of it. So all I have to do is figure out how to stop getting in the way of it, because I have that power. I was given that power at birth. That's what I'm here to do, is create these things. So just gotta get out of stop making my human self get in the way, get that human brain, that rational mind out of there, so that we can make more magic. So, and if you, oh yeah, also if you want to learn how to get into vibrational alignment, you can download that at my website, roxyleehart.com/get more Roxy Talks. That will help you get into alignment and stay there. It's actually what I did to start my new, like where I'm at now, is new, like really gaining control of what I'm doing. I started with the 30 days of alignment. I actually gave the challenge to myself. And as I was like 4 or 5 days in, I realized this is something I need to be sharing. So then I started recording every single day what I was learning. And that's how that challenge came to be. If you have any questions or need any clarity, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, let's see. Yes, exactly. Working on your vibration every day to get there 5 years from now. Because that's the thing, there really is no future and there is no past. I know we think there are, but try getting there to either one. You only have now, and now is your future, because the way you feel now is manifesting what you're going to feel, what you're going to see in your world. So you literally only have this moment. There is no future moment. There is no getting better when. It's now. You have to do it now, because now builds your tomorrow. Every single moment of now is building your future. So if you care, if you don't want to be depressed for the rest of your life, if you don't want to be anxious for the rest of your life, if you don't want to let these, you don't want to be angry for the rest of your life, you don't want to let these negative emotions take over you, because they don't have to. You have to give a shit about how you care every single moment of the day, and you can't let it take over you. I mean, you can, but you're going to get more things to feel shitty about. That's just how it works. So find out what you want to feel, what good emotions you do want to feel, what do you want to see in your world, who do you want to be, and then make that your point of focus. Make that what you focus on. Make that what you decide you are. Guilty of energetically coasting. Yes. I love that term. Yes, girl, that is exactly, you got that. You got that. I like that. Energetically coasting. I might steal that. I'll give you credit. Emily said that right here. Okay, thank you. Yeah, energetically coasting. That's such a good way to put it. I usually describe it as autopilot, but I really like what you're doing. It's just, you're like, this is how I feel. I'm on it. I'm feeling this way. And then the next thing that happens to you makes you feel a certain way, and then that's how you feel. And then you just feel that way until something else comes along and makes you feel something else. And that's no way to be a creator. You're not going to be able to create all of the things that you want. I mean, you'll create some of the stuff, of course. It's not that it's not that you're not going to create the things that you want, because you're 50-50. 50% of the time, most people are in vibrational alignment with good stuff, and 50% of the time you're negative. I mean, if you just think about it that way. So you're going to get half the good shit and you're going to get half the bad stuff. Hopefully, best case scenario, if you're just emotionally coasting or energetically coasting, like you said. But if you take control, if you choose to feel good, like who said that? Oh, that's my dad. Hi, Dad. Yes, decide to change your mind. If you decide to change your mind, decide to make that a priority, then it's going to be all smooth sailing from there. And then you can start energetically coasting on good emotions, because you've learned how to conjure them. You've learned how to recall them. You know what they feel like. So when you start feeling the negative emotions, you can switch back into, you can push play on that new song, the happy song, the excited song, or whatever it is, and then coast on that. And your life will be beautiful, than it already is. Oh shit, there's a whole bunch of questions I didn't even see over here. Sorry, guys. Okay. Doing these techniques daily when the moment comes. Yes, that is when it changes. So your vibration on any subject is where you last left it. So let's say that you had, I'm going to pick like cheating, a cheating spouse or a cheating partner as an example. If you have been cheated on, you got cheated on by somebody, so now you have this idea your partner cheats. Now the next partner you already have partners cheat in your mind. You're going to do things, you're going to put out vibrations that will give you evidence to prove your belief that your partner cheats. It's no other way. If you feel it, it's going to be brought back to you. So the only way to change that belief is in every moment. Every time you think my partner's going to cheat, or people always cheat, men always cheat, women are cheated, whatever it is, women are liars. Every time you have that thought, you have to change it in the moment. And then the next time you have it, it's going to be where you last left it. And so if you just keep working it back, again, up the emotional scale, back in the direction of not everybody cheats. There are people out there who are honest. And I'm an honest person, and so therefore I am attracting more honesty. I believe that I will find a good partner because I know that there's someone out there who has gone through the same thing as me that also wants to be an honest partner. You just have to soothe yourself and just, because it's not true. Not everybody cheats. I don't cheat. My husband doesn't cheat. Not everybody cheats, and you will find someone that doesn't cheat. And if and only if you don't believe that anymore, you can't believe that people cheat and then get into a relationship that's going to be completely honest if you have that belief implanted in your mind. Okay, let's see. Your headaches are coming instantly, sometimes even during the altercation. If you have to get something out, you got to get it out. You know, you are a pressure cooker, so you don't want to bottle those feelings up. Make sure that you do get them out so you're able to address them. But as you're allowing yourself that expression and allowing yourself to get that out, take stock in how you're feeling in the release, and maybe learn how to channel that in a way that's a little more productive. Again, each time it happens, maybe learning, like, take a second to think, what is going to be the outcome of me blowing up or whatever it is. Just kind of trying to pin down, where it's coming from, what you can do to kind of ease those feelings. Let it out if you have to. Maybe, again, you let it out through, okay, let me say this right here. I want to address getting out ahead of what your issue is, because if you're always bottling up your issue, if you're getting frustrated every time and you're bottling it up, and so now every time you get frustrated, you immediately get the headaches, start by meditating and doing something physical with your body to express those feelings before you get to the fight. You want to get out ahead of it. You want to slow the momentum before the fight happens. And then that way, when the fight does happen, maybe you have a little less pressure going on because you've got it out earlier in the day. And the more you do that, the less pressure you're going to be working with every time you go into the situation, or you get to the point where you might want to fight. Hopefully, eventually, you won't have to feel like you have to react that way anymore. Okay. Intentions necessary with all, always fighting my inner negative critic. I like that. Yeah, definitely. It's such a mother effer. Where do you keep this toolbox, like journaling? Okay, so you can write it down, the toolbox, the list of halves. There's a lot of ways you can kind of think of it. For me, like, it's my dogs for sure. My dogs bring me probably more joy than anything else. I like being outside. I like the feeling of being in nature and putting my feet in the grass every day. I like the idea of, I've just now that I'm looking back on what things I've got in my toolbox, I just really have fell in love with how cool life is and how beautiful the planet is. And I'm speaking to Kristen, you know me when I lived in downtown Denver, like, I was a city girl for a really long time. And so now living in LA, being back by the beach, it's really important to me to experience nature because it's cleansing, it's calming. Ice cream, yeah, definitely ice cream. Except it's vegan ice cream now. Yeah, things, just anything that makes you feel good, anything that you don't have any resistance to, that's really important. You don't want it to be like, oh, $1 million, because unless you have $1 million and it makes you feel really good, you don't want to use that as your thing to make you feel good, to bring you back. Like, if you're thinking about money but how much money you don't have, you don't want to think about $1 million to make you feel better, because honestly, really, when you think about it, you can't fake it with the universe. You don't feel that good about $1 million because you don't have it. Like, let's be real. You can pretend that it feels really good, but you don't know what it feels like to have $1 million. So think of something that does make you feel rich, like all of the pillows in your bed, or all of the friends that you have, or, how many people, the love that you had at your wedding. I mean, it's really can be anything that you've experienced in your life that makes you feel abundant or rich or joyful or whatever. And yeah, you can write them down, make a list of it so that you can remember it easier. And then once you have that, you can just pluck those. Like, if I start feeling worried or negative, like, for me, I'm really, really worried about, like, safety a lot of the time. And when I leave the house, like, I really worry, like, if I die or my dog's going to be okay, like, how long will they be in my apartment? Starving. This is stuff I think about every time I leave the house. Every time my husband leaves the house, I'm like, is this the last time I'm going to see him? So I have to visualize like coming back to my dogs, even though, I mean, and that helps me actually get there too. It helps me, I think, combat the potential safety hazards that could be out in the world, by visualizing coming home to them, being there, having that like, ooh, loving them and getting that moment with them. So that's like how I use my dogs. If I start feeling unsafe or unsure or really anything, that's something I can easily just like think about and conjure up. I hope that made sense. I feel like I was really rambling on that one. Okay, any tips of being comfortable having faith? Okay, I'm gonna address this one in just a second. Okay. Being comfortable with having faith. It's a part of me that keeps tempting me to put my guard up just in case. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what she's saying here is, she feels that, like I was saying, you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Maybe you've had good times and they didn't last, and so you're worried that negative things are going to come back. You're worried the law of attraction is not going to work for you. And I will say, if you're worried the law of attraction isn't going to work for you, then it won't, because that's it. You manifest how you feel and what you believe. So what I would say to build your faith is that's what I was talking about, the list of, they're basically like mini manifestations. They're things that you have no emotional attachment to, things that you wouldn't care if they had happened to you again, or didn't, if you never experienced them again. So every single day before you go on about your day, make a list of 5 to 10 things. Like, I'll tell you some of the things that are on mine. I got a high five from a stranger. I found a 1983 quarter. I drank a lemonade. I said hi to a bird. My friend and I laughed till we cried. Those are literally the things that are in my, I write things like that down every single day. And then when they happen, because they inevitably do, like, so one thing I used to write down all the time is I saw a feather. Now I see feathers all the time, and I have a big old feather collection. I collect them now. And it's just every time you see it, you take stock, you're like, ah, I'm like, I found that. I get excited. And I just affirm that I see the manifestation. I'm like, oh, it's here. I got it. Yay. And then you can write it on your list. Like sometimes I'll write the date. So if it's something interesting, like I remember the first time I wrote, I laughed till I cried. The next day, my husband said something really, really funny, and we both started crying, laughing. And then I wrote down, what he said and the date of it, and it was like 2 days later. One of them I said, my dogs kissed me at the same time. And like 2 hours later, I bent down to pet one, and she like came up to like give me a little kiss, and my other dog just came out of nowhere and kissed me, and they did it at the same time, and it was like 2 hours. I was like, oh my God. And I wrote that in my journal, and I got, just getting excited about the little manifestations when they happen will let you know that you are being heard. If you're able to kind of drop the manifestation and not care about it and not like worry about it, not let it take over your mind, it will be able to come through. When you kind of think about things too much and you don't let your manifestation rest or settle or gestate, you're basically like planting a seed, and then you're constantly digging the soil. And you're like, where's the plant? Why isn't the plant here? And you're like messing with the soil, you're overwatering it, you're digging in more, you're like, that's what's happening. So when you have something you're trying to manifest or something you want or whatever, letting go of it, letting go of the need to have it, the need to see it in your world, because you know that it's going to come. That's how it gets to you. So practicing on things that don't matter or things that have no emotional connection to you are a way to build the trust by seeing those things in your life. Because me seeing a feather all the time. Yeah, there's feathers everywhere, but it's exciting when I see it, because I know like some feathers are put right in my path. And one day I was feeling really abundant, and I found a peacock feather on the ground outside of my apartment. Just a peacock feather. I was like, this is probably the most abundant feather I could have ever asked for. And then the next day, my husband and I went on a walk, and we were going on a path, and for some reason at the end of the path, I was like, let's veer off and walk through the grass just out of nowhere. And so we veered off the path that we had just completed and came to the entrance of. And then I walked through, and it was just thousands of feathers. It was like where all these geese had hung out, and there was just thousands and thousands and thousands of feathers. And I was like, this is the most abundant feather situation I could have ever imagined. I thought that the peacock feather was abundant, and then I came across thousands of feathers, and it's just those moments you're like, oh my God, like, okay, something is happening out here. I can't deny it. Okay. Hold on, I gotta dress here. I got stuff over here. What would you do with what's going on with the Amazon rainforest? Well, I can tell you what I've done. I'm in a few groups that are kind of spiritual based, and we had a group meditation to kind of set our intentions for the rainforest. What I can say about that is that the earth is its own living, breathing being. We as human beings are basically like fleas on a dog. It is a privilege for us to live here on this planet. And it's a privilege for us to live here on this planet. And should the earth decide that it doesn't want us on here anymore, it can get rid of us really easily. Human beings are a major part of the expansion of the universe. We're sent here to grow and learn and create. We come from the infinite source, and our growth, our experience, our knowledge expanding is literally what is expanding the universe. Everything that we discover, since we are an extension of source, is source essentially discovering about itself, about this planet, about human beings, about life, about whatever. So every time we learn something, the infinite source learns something, it expands its own consciousness, and it expands the universe at the same time. The reason I bring that up is that we have a job to do on this planet. Humans are here that's what we're here to do, expand the universe, to grow, to learn, to understand new things, to experience the contrast that planet Earth has. Because where we come from, it's all good, it's all positive, it's pure positive energy. There is no contrast there. So we choose to come to this planet because of things like the rainforest and the killings and the hurt and the pain. We come here because that negative emotion and that negative experience causes us to, this is coming full circle, causes us to launch the rockets of desire that say, no, I want this good thing. No, we want the Amazon. All these people are praying and meditating together. That amount of energy and force and desire for good things to happen to the planet, that would not have happened if the rainforest wasn't on fire. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a thing that's happening on our planet. And your job isn't to judge what any other person or entity, even the Earth's experience is. Your job is to experience things, learn and grow from them, and desire new things. That's your job. And if the rainforest being on fire causes you to feel certain ways, it causes you to want to be an activist, it causes you to want to help people, it causes you to want to help animals, it causes you to want to help the earth, then that is what it is there to do, and that's what it's designed to do. And I think that all of these people coming together, it's part of the whole consciousness shift that we're going through as a planet. And I think that all of the negative things that we're experiencing, like, for in here, I don't want to get into politics, but here in the US, things are really tumultuous, more than they have been in my 35 years that I've experienced here. So, it's been a while since we've had so much tension on a grand scale that we have. But at the same time, again, that tension, that contrast, those negative feelings are launching so many more rockets of desire, things that we do want, love that we do want to experience. It's causing people who are awake or understanding of the situation to love their neighbor more, to love themselves more, to love the planet more, to care more. And so yeah, I would just take it like that. You can't, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing anyone can do about it except add to the positivity on this planet. That's what you're here to do. Shut up. My dad. Oh my God, you're 35? Yeah, and that makes you what, 60? Get out of here. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, Kristen. Okay, I know about the car accident. That's honestly, I didn't want to say those words, but that's like my biggest thing is like dying in a car accident. I've always had a huge fear of it. So I 100% relate to you on that. One thing I do is I also visualize a ball of white light coming out of my chest, and then I kind of visualize it like boom, like becoming an orb around the whole car as like a protector force field. And then I visualized like this gold glittery lava coming out of my chest and filling up all the crevices of the car until the car and everybody inside of it were all like these like gold disco ball things in my mind. And then I feel like, okay, I'm protected. I'm in a force field right now. And who knows what's actually happening, but at least it makes me feel safe with that idea. And anytime I start like getting nervous, I can remind myself, no, I'm good. And I can just see that orb in that, see that glitter thing popping up. You guys, my dad is heckling me over here. Okay. Okay. Okay, if I don't have any emotional connection to it, I feel like I don't focus intently enough sometimes because I don't care about it. Yeah. Okay, that's true. And let's see. So you're saying you don't care about something. That can be good because if you don't have too much of an emotional attachment to it, you're able to drop it easier and let it go, and so you can manifest it easier because you don't necessarily care about the outcome. I'm just gonna share a small manifestation that I'd had one time. I was having a party, and it was earlier in the day. Completely random thought. I just said to my husband, "I want a pink lighter," and that was it. I didn't think about it again. I had no emotional attachment to it. I just said those words. And then later on that night, when my friend came over, he brought like a box of alcohol from the liquor store, and we're pulling everything out. And at the bottom of this box is just a pink lighter just sitting there. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, is this your lighter? And he's like, no. Like, no, that pink lighter is not mine. And it was just there. And it like, I don't know. It was, anyways, I know that. I know that that seems trivial, but it's, to me, that was like the most like detached manifestation that I remember, just being like, I want this thing, and it just showed up in my life hours later. So if you want something that you don't have an emotional attachment to, it's way easier to manifest it because you don't have anything standing in your way telling you that it's hard to get, you won't get it, you're not deserving of it, blah, 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 blah. If you, let me reread this question. You feel like you're not focusing intently enough because you don't care. Yeah. If you just focus one time, if you focus one time on it, put your energy toward it, actually feel the emotions that you will feel when you're there. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, getting this excitement, because you don't feel like that most of the day. Most of the time you're like, cool. You know, it's just like finding that like that level of like, okay, I got this. That an actual emotion of how you feel when you receive whatever it is that you want. Mesh that with the visualization of what it is, and then just send it off and go about your day, because it will be manifested. It has no choice. That's how the world works. So when you want it, the way is made. Like a way is being made, just like the title of this live is. Once you want it, it's out there, it's going, and it's just you being not in opposition to it, you not standing in the way, or you not putting things in the way, you being out of vibrational alignment with it to get it. So if you can get yourself into vibrational alignment with what you want, you can bring those things to you faster. And that has to do with not doubting that it's coming, believing in yourself, believing in your power, trusting that this is how the world works and there's not really any other option. Okay, so he said, I once tried the manifesting coffee method, but I didn't actually want coffee. And a few minutes later, my mom made me normal tea, and then I did not know if it counted, since it wasn't coffee, but it was still a hot drink. It definitely manifested exactly how you put it out to the universe. I want coffee, but I really don't. So it's like you're putting out mixed messages. The universe is responding. It knew you wanted something in that, like you said, some sort of like, what does coffee represent? It represents coming together, with your mom. It represents starting your day. It represents waking up. It represents ritual. Like there's a lot of things that coffee represents that doesn't necessarily have to be, actual coffee. But the fact that you're like, I want this, but I really don't. It gave it to you exactly how you asked for it. Leora Alexandra, that's one of my favorite channels. She, yes, and that same power does create negative replies from the universe. Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to be in a positive, receptive mode so that you don't have all your negative stuff coming to you constantly. Lior Alexandra, one of the channels I follow, she talks about how she had some like, it was like a hot drink, but in a package that you pour and you mix it or whatever, some sort of thing. And she was making the drink, and she was like, man, I really don't want this whole thing. I only want like half of it. Maybe my roommate wants some of it or whatever. Her intention was, I want this drink, but I only want half of it. She didn't realize that was exactly what she was putting out to the universe. So she goes to pour this drink, she opens the packet, and half of it spills out on the floor. And then she had the perfect half match of exactly what she wanted. So that kind of reminded me, that's why I was kind of laughing when you said the coffee and the tea thing, because it's like you wanted it, but you weren't, you were offering a mixed vibration. So that's kind of what you got. Let's see. Yeah, okay, listen, I agree with you on the politics stuff, but I don't know how to say this. You're adding to the negative energy when you're putting, I'm not saying don't pay attention to it, and I'm not saying don't care about it, but attention to something. The war on drugs only created more drugs. The war on terror has created a lot more terror. And I'm just saying things that, are American based, because I truthfully don't know too much about what's going on, because I avoid this kind of stuff because it brings you down. It makes you feel shitty, and I just don't. I know this really sounds like first world problems, but I just don't. For me, I can't afford to let that stuff affect my vibration and affect me, because it's already affecting the world. It's already affecting so many more people. Me adding to the fuel, adding to the negativity, adding to that is only going to make it worse. And so if I can do my part by raising my own vibration, sharing what I have learned with everybody else, and helping other people raise their vibrations, that's how we can spread the positive energy and the positive message and all of that to the rest of the world. It's not by putting more attention and focus on what is already manifested that is negative. Not saying don't care, again, but channel that energy into helping, or educating, or whatever you can in a positive light. Okay, yeah. Letting go of emotional attachment in order to manifest. Yeah. So think about things that you have been trying to manifest, or things that you've wanted in your life for a really long time that haven't shown up. And they're always like big things. They're things that you either really care about, you really want, things that you don't really believe that you can have, things that you've never seen anybody have, things that you've been told are hard to get. There's a lot of things that stand in the way of you letting those things come to you, because we are so conditioned with all of these thoughts. We react to the world that we see around us. You react to the things that happen to people that you know, and it just builds this like belief system, and you have to like break those pieces away to really get out of it, because a belief is only a thought you've thought for a long time. It's a long-standing thought, basically, and you can change your thought at any time. And a change of belief, it's just like I was saying earlier about doing it in the moment, changing your vibration every time, because your vibration is always where you last left it. So you just kind of like work back your way back up. But changing your beliefs, allowing yourself to be worthy of the things that you want, because there's no shortage of anything on this planet. There's no shortage of money. There's plenty of money to go around. It's just allocated in strange ways. And those people that do have all the money have it because they know how to have a lot of money. And if you don't have the money, it's because you don't know how to allow yourself to have money. So yeah, you got to break the beliefs that you've been taught, break the beliefs that even the things that you've encountered. You just can't allow what you see and what you've experienced to dictate the rest of your life, because it doesn't have to. All right. Bye, Dad. Love you. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys. Any more questions? This has been awesome. Thank you so much for participating and asking questions. I really appreciate it. It's fun to answer in real time. Kind of get to the core of what is causing you to ask and stuff. Starving artist syndrome. Girl, I'm with you. I've known this. I'm talking to somebody I've known for like 20 years, almost 15 years. Yeah, and we're both definitely have been there at the same time, starving artists. And two, like my dad was just on here, but my dad is a musician also. I was raised by a starving artist. So it only makes sense that I am in this exact same thing because that's what I saw and that's what I impressed upon. My dad was a musician and I was like, that's what I want to be. I want to be a musician and I want to starve for my art, I guess. So I'm trying to break all those past belief systems and belief in their file. They're like files in a computer, and you really just have to like delete them and locate them and then delete them. But working every day to change the way you feel, change the ideas that you have about things. That's what will get you there. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Hope you have a happy Mindset Monday. And join Black Moon Society if you're not part of the community already. It's going to be a link in the bio. And if you haven't downloaded my 30 Days of Alignment Challenge, you can do so at my website, roxyleehart.com/get more Roxy Talks. I'll see you next time. That one? Oh, okay. Bye, Facebook. Goodbye and goodbye, YouTube. Oh, come on now. There we go. Crap in the way.